Welcome. This is the little portion of this podcast episode where, I guess this is more of a vlog style, that I am going to just sit here and talk a little bit about what I've been working on and some plans that I have. So this video that you have seen has been a compilation of video that I've taken during the month of November. It's been a challenging month. We have some extended family circumstances that have been very challenging, that have it's always hard for me to know how personal to get here on my channel. So I'm just going to say that it's been a weird month creatively for me because I have been mentally distracted by some issues that have been going on. But I am trying to just kind of rest in my creative practices. And you will have seen that I have not just been knitting, I have been painting our house. I did not take footage. I repainted my husband's office. He was out of the state for his work last week. So I repainted his office because he was in our son's old room, our son Ian. And so it needed done. I painted the accent wall here in our room, and you can see I haven't edited this video yet, but I'm assuming I'm going to have talked about the stenciling that I did up the sides of the walls. And then last Tuesday is when we had something happen with a very close family member, and that just kind of changed the trajectory of our week. And it has been weird since then, but I do have my knitting here. My bed is covered, and I'm going to share those things. So I should show you my first. I do have a finished object. I still have them on the blocking mats. In fact, I need to take them off because I'm going to be taking these to my friend. They're still a little bit damp. So I think what I'm going to do about that, because I'm taking them to her today, is I'm going to use my hair dryer to hopefully dry them. But these are the winglet mitts. They're so cute. This was the first one I knit, and then I started this second one and I knit to about here, and then I put them aside, and I just powered through last night did both of the thumbs and did from here up. So my tension was definitely tighter in the first one I knit than the second one. You might be able to see that, but it doesn't matter. These just remind me so much of my friend. I had originally started making these for myself I don't know, was that last year and a half ago? But these remind me of my friend, and she just had a birthday, so I'm going to gift these to her as a birthday gift. I guess I should talk about what I'm wearing, because I'm sure I always want to know when I see podcasters wearing things. So this is my Glum cardigan. I love this cardigan actually a lot because it's not completely long sleeved. It's got just enough warmth, and it's wonderful for wearing over button-down shirts. That's mostly how I wear it, over button-down shirts. But this pattern's by Caitlin Hunter, and I knit this in 2023. You can see it has that beautiful motif, which is just knits and purl bumps to give you that. And let me step back a little bit. It just looks really cute, and it gives just enough warmth. I knit this in Patagonia Organic Merino, I think is what, well, I have it here. Let me just look so I can tell you the correct thing. And I'll be linking everything down below as well. I feel like you guys can't see me because I'm standing up showing you, but yeah, it's Juniper Moon Patagonia Organic Merino, and this color is Acorn. I don't know how many balls of yarn I used. I was actually looking in my knitting journal hoping that I wrote notes on this, and I did not. So I must not have been keeping a knitting journal at that time. I will say that I would like to knit another one, and I have several sweaters quantities of Pearl Soho Good Wool, which is labeled as a DK weight, but I feel like it definitely is more of a sport weight when I knit with it anyway. And so I think it'll probably give me a very similar gauge to this. I wish I would have taken notes so I could see what needle I used. Yes, this is why I keep a knitting journal now, which is literally just this little booklet that I put my notes when I'm knitting. And I don't always do this if it's a small project, but definitely for garments I do. Or if I'm knitting something that maybe is a smaller pattern. Smaller, I mean like less time consuming. But if I feel like, oh, I'm really making a lot of modifications to this, I better take notes in case I want to replicate it in the future. I didn't tell you what this was. This is Knit Picks palette, and this is the Serpentine colorway. So I need to get those. Hopefully I can dry those up really quick with a hair dryer. Oh gosh, I didn't finish them until late last night, and then I soaked them, and I thought about just steaming them, but I was like, no, I really want to pull out that moth motif. So I wanted to wet block them, and I'm glad I did, but I knew I was going to be leaving this morning to see my friend. So now I'm going to have to figure out how, or I'll just be like, here, you need to lay these out to dry. She's the type of friend that would be fine to do with though. I've been really working hard on my Murmured in Dreams shawl. I'm getting really close to finishing this. This is a pattern by Dusty Tree Dyeworks. It uses two contrasting skeins of fingering weight yarn. It's a mosaic. Hold on, I just want to make sure I'm getting everything correctly. Yeah, Rebecca Shepler, but she also dyes yarn. So I bought this yarn at PA Sheep and Wool Festival. And it is a November walk. And this is called Tree Canopy. Let me make sure. I don't want to drop stitches, but it's a triangular shawl. And you can see it's mosaic knitting. So I have like 2 of the repeats left, and then I will be starting the border. And the border has the contrast color, like a solid panel of the contrast color, and then I think a solid panel of the main color. So my contrast color is the November walk, and the main color is the Tree Canopy. Can you guys hear my dog snoring? Let me show you here. Let me just flip this. There's Mitty. She's our elderly. Oh, it's hard to, there we go. So we have 2 dogs. Tilly is the one you see most of because she's the energetic puppy that I have to walk like 6 or 7 times a day. But this is Mitty, and Mitty is she 14 now? Oh my gosh. She turns 14 this month. She is a mixed breed. We got her from the animal shelter when the kids were little. She spends most of her days sleeping. She does not really care for walks anymore. Oops, let me get this back. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm sitting in a different place because it's very dreary out today, so I'm hoping that the light from the windows in my bedroom will give good lighting for filming. We had our first snow when I woke up this morning, which I knew that there was a pretty good chance of snow. It's not, I mean, it's like a light dusting, so it's nothing big, but it's the first snowfall. And we've had our first snowfall in October, so it's actually not like a surprise or anything like that. But anyway, back to this shawl. Yes, I have really enjoyed this. Sometimes I don't like mosaic knitting. For instance, when I've knit 2 of the pressed flowers patterns. I did the hat and I did the kerchief. The kerchief I didn't mind, but for some reason the hat, I did not care for that, doing the mosaic in that. It just felt like that hat took a really long time to make. I'm not sure why that is, but this mosaic knitting has been very enjoyable and kind of like meditative. So this is a very nice pattern. And then I was about this, actually right before I started this shawl, I started the Creativity Cowl, which is a pattern by Tori Knits NYC. And I showed this to you last time, I think, but I had run out of my main color. I just had a little bit left. And I am knitting this pattern using a skein of my hand spun. I don't know. I spun this so many years ago, so I'm not going to be able to tell you where I got it, like the fiber or what it is. I think it's merino. I'm holding it. I'm knitting it with this homegrown yarn from Flower Hill Fleeces. This is the Brothers and Sisters colorway. It's not dyed yarn. It's all natural. It's farm yarn. Anyway, this is my cowl so far. And the problem was I had run out of yarn, and my friend Jody, who I had run out of like this yarn here, the main color, and my friend Jody was away. So I had to wait till she got home, and I went to her mill, and she had mill ends that I was able to get from her. So I got these, and this will definitely be more than enough to finish this because I don't have like a ton to finish with this. Okay, though, oh wait, I have one more pair of socks. So I used to be such an avid sock knitter, and this year, and I think even last year, I just haven't been into knitting socks. I've been enjoying garments more. But one of my nieces turned 16 last month. No, in September. It's not November. And I usually knit a pair of socks for my nieces. I've just had nieces so far turn 16, no nephews, but I don't know that I'll do it for the nephews. I don't know if they'll be into it or not. But for my nieces, I have knit them a pair of socks when they've turned 16. And this is my latest niece's pair of socks. And she picked the yarn. And so I'm just doing this as a shorty. I did 15 rounds. It's more like a crew sock, I guess. 15 rounds of 2x2 ribbing. And then I did 10 of just plain stockinette and then a slip stitch heel. This is basically how I knit my socks. I always use this heel just because it's easy and I know it and I don't have to look at anything. So I am working on this, and she has size US 9 feet. So I have quite a bit to go yet on the foot, I think. I wear like a size 8. So I'm going to have to kind of use that to kind of judge how long to make these socks, since I've never made her a pair before. But this particular yarn is, what is this yarn? Oh no, I don't even have the tag? Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, that is what I've got actively going on my needles. Now I want to show you my yarn. I ordered some yarn from Pearl Soho because they've been having so many 25% off sales lately. They've always done that, but it used to be that it was only on the big holidays in the US that they would have a sale, but now I feel like it's way more random. But I want to show you what I got to make my smoke show. I've talked about the smoke show pattern. It's by Thea Coleman. It's that beautiful vest that I featured in the episode when I talked about the vest patterns that I really liked. And this yarn is Pearl Soho's Hedgerow, which is a blend of merino, cashmere, and mulberry silk. It's 93% merino. It is 3.5% cashmere and 3.5% mulberry silk. And isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And it's like a little bit tweedy, isn't it there? Do you see that? So pretty. So I ordered 3 skeins. I ordered 3 skeins of it to make my smoke show. Yeah, so that's what I have for that. But while I was on there, as we do, it's like, well, if I order a little bit more, I can get free shipping. And also I wanted to have yarn to make another cardigan, and I saw this beautiful color. It's also Hedgerow. And this is my color. This is one of my colors. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait, so this color, what's this color called? The creamy white is called Heirloom White. I wanted, for that smoke show vest, I wanted a very basic color. Okay, I wanted something that was gonna go with a lot of different items in my wardrobe. I just feel like that's going to be an awesome piece that's going to be so, it's just going to be worn so often by me. And then I ordered, like I said, this color, and this is called turquoise turquoise dusk. And it's the same hedgerow. It's the same base. So same fiber content. That's my color. It brings out the blue in my eyes. Anyway, I am going to make a cardigan. And I had a pattern picked out, but now for the life of me, I cannot remember what pattern I had chosen for this. This hedgerow is there's 243 yards in 100 grams, and you are to use, it's a gauge of 19 to 21 stitches per 4 inches. It is a hand wash, lay flat to dry, made in Ireland. So this is gonna, oh, it's so pretty. I love this color. I love it so much. I'm so excited about that. I have so many plans because I also ordered, well, hold on. I don't know how I'm gonna get all these sweaters knit because I have yarn to knit 2 other sweaters. One for my daughter Lily and one for my son Ian, which Lily's I've talked about before. I'm going to knit her the Euro sweater by Agio Knit. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Again, everything's linked down below, but I'm going to be using the Queensland Kathmandu Aran for her sweater. And I was going to do this as a surprise for Christmas, but then I was like, oh, I would hate to knit an entire sweater and then it not fit her correctly. So I told both Ian and Lily that I was going to knit them sweaters. And I just feel better about that because then they can try them on as I'm knitting them and I can make them fit them perfectly, or, you know, better than just blindly knitting and just hoping that that they fit. So I gave this yarn to Lily last week. I surprised her. I just gave her the whole bag that I had gotten in the mail, and I had ordered this in the summer. I've had this yarn for a long time, and she pulled it out and she's like, "What is this?" And I said, "You remember that sweater we saw at Magpie Knits when we were in Virginia?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm knitting it for you." And she was so excited because she had really liked it. And it was the Euro sweater. There was a sample there. So she held this up to her neck. And I mean, I feel absolutely nothing. This is super soft yarn. What is this? It's 80% wool, 10% silk, 5% cashmere. It's 208 yards per 100 grams. It is a worsted weight. And I feel like it's such a reasonably priced yarn for having cashmere and silk in it. This was priced at $25 a skein. So it's not cheap, but it's not as expensive as some yarns that have the cashmere or silk in it. So, and this is going to be these sweaters are going to be like kind of part of Christmas gifts for 2 of my kids. But she's like, "Oh my gosh, this doesn't bother me at all." So now I had people ask, can you recommend any yarn for people who are really sensitive? And I'm thinking this is going to be one of them. I'm super excited about it. And this base comes in multiple weights. I know that they have a DK version of this same fiber content. So that is awesome, because if I have found a yarn that does not make Lily all itchy and scratchy, that's fantastic. I'm so happy about that. Because that's always been my problem with her. She has so many sweaters that she loves, and she's totally one of those people who would wear them. She wears anything I've made her, she uses, but it's like she's so sensitive to wool. So now for Ian's sweater, I ordered Pearl Soho. Oh, what was it? Good wool worsted, but it was the superwash version. Because, you know, he's married out on his own, wasn't sure about the whole hand washing thing for him. So I did the superwash, which I typically prefer to knit non-superwash sweaters just because I feel like they have better structure, but it's okay. And I'm going to be knitting a pattern. I think it's like olive green that he picked out the color of. I'll put it up here. And then the pattern is by Maxim I forget his name. It's the single malt sweater pattern. I have to be honest, I've heard of his patterns before, but whenever, I forget where I recently saw or how it even came to be that I thought, oh, this would be a good sweater for Ian. But I looked it up and I was looking at his other patterns. He has some really, really nice patterns that I would love to knit. So anyway, I'm going to be knitting that sweater for Ian. I'm not going to get these sweaters done by Christmas. I know that, but it's going to be like part of their Christmas gift. And my plan is to finish them maybe by February, mid-February, end of February. Depends how much time I have to knit, really, because I have so many things. I know you guys know. I know you know what I'm talking about. All right, well, that's all I can talk about now. I had other things to talk about because I'm doing a little Christmas embroidery project that I started last year, and I don't have time to talk about it because I have to leave for an appointment, but maybe I'll check in later today. I just wanted to get on here real quick and talk about these things. So thanks for listening. Bye. I am back. It is about 3:15 in the afternoon. So I went and did my errands and I had a nice visit with my friend. I gave her her mitts. Tilly. Let me show you what we've got going on back here. There's the little Tilly. And I think she's looking out the front window and she must see a neighbor in their front yard. Tilly, they're allowed there. They're allowed in their own yard. Yes, they are. So I just came back in from walking her. I don't know. Is my nose still red? It is so cold out here today. It's in the 30s, which is not even that cold. But because it's the first day that it's been this cold, my body has not adapted yet. So I went out in my winter parka and one of my really thick hand knit hats. Forgot to put my gloves. I need to get my thrummed mittens out is what I need to do. But it was a very cold walk because it's not just cold, it's also blustery and windy. Here, I always get compliments on this mug. This is a handmade mug that I thrifted. If you are a thrifter, always, and you like pottery, always check out the mugs and like the kitchenware because I have found multiple hand thrown pottery. I have so much of it now that I don't have room for any more. So typically what I do now is when I find it, I put it back for Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. I am fortunate enough that I have a friend group who understand the value of like handmade, and then also I feel like most of my friends are not overly consumed with consuming. So it's no big deal for us to give each other thrifted, like items that we've thrifted. And that's, yeah. And then I like my daughter, and then my one daughter-in-law is like that as well. So that makes it really nice. But I will say that it is really hard when I find a piece of handmade pottery. My selfishness comes out because I just want to keep it for myself. But I've been like, hey, now I have way more pottery than I need, so I'm going to share the love. I just made myself some decaf black tea because I'm just really cold and I want something hot to drink, and I put lots of soy milk in it. So that's what I'm drinking right now. I got something really exciting in the mail today. I knew this was going to be coming, and then with all the craziness that's been going on in our life, I forgot. So I want to share about that. I also have a couple, I have a Christmas ornament. I have a couple Christmassy things I want to talk about, actually. So let's talk about the exciting mail that I got today, because this is going to benefit you viewers as well. So I don't know how many of you guys are active or get on Instagram at all, but there is an account on there that I've been following for a while, and it is Woolen Bluebird. And That's her Instagram name. I will link everything that I'm talking about with what I'm about to talk about down in the description box. But so Ariane is a knitter, and she is also an oil painter. She did this series recently of 12 original oil paintings featuring different shawl designers and their shawl. And if you follow her already, you will have seen this. She's been kind of showing clips of it throughout the year, and then she's now been featuring her finished work. So what she ended up doing is she made calendars. I just pulled it out and pushed it back in because I thought I'm going to open this up and look at it on camera. Because not only did she send me one as a gift, but she sent me a second one to give away to a viewer. So I want to open this up with you, and then we're going to talk about the little gift that we are going to gift away on here. So it's really cute. She tied it up with a bow, and it has 12 full color 8.5 by 11 images of her original oil paintings that she did. Let me take off the ribbon. So here's the front. And if you want to look at the back, that is the back. And it's been really cool watching her like show these throughout the year. These are all, so in her little note that she sent me, she talks about this on her Instagram account as well, but she had struggled with PTSD about 10 years ago, and she started to really use her knitting, particularly knitting shawls, as a form of therapy and healing from that PTSD. And so she really likes and enjoys knitting shawls, and that's where this project kind of sprang from. It was her springboard for this project. And this calendar features 12 shawl designers and paintings of them and their shawl design. And these are all designers that have inspired her. So this is it. Let's take a peek inside. So it's bound at the top with wire binding. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, sorry. And then look at the actual calendar grid. It's got the little skeins of yarn. It's got nice big blocks for writing. I've actually been keeping a paper calendar on my wall for the last 2 years, and I have gotten it from the same artist both years. The first year it was a gift from my friend Danielle, who I gifted the mittens to today. And then last year I just bought one myself because I liked it so much. And pretty much I don't keep any activities on my calendar. It's mostly where I document all the birthdays and anniversaries and other events that I want to remember, because it's the events, it would just wreck the calendar. So I keep that all digitally in my phone. But so here we go. Oh, look, every month has a different little sketch. So that's crochet. Let's do it this way. And then there's a sheep and a ram. Angora bunny. That is Fox and Folk. I recognize that. I actually, well, hold on. I'll tell you more about that. I always get ahead of myself. So we're in August. I can tell that is Melody Hoffman Bee Mandarins because I also recognize that shawl. Can you guys see this? I know it's not really super close, but oh yes, great. Oh, this is, yes, thank you, Ariane. I was wondering, I was like, as I was flipping through, I was like, I would love to know who these designers are. And that is included in the back in like a little pictorial index. So yes, beautiful, like heavy paper. And it's interesting. I don't know if you guys can, let me see if I can find, you can tell these were oil paintings from the texture that is just translated so well onto this nice thick cardstock paper that was printed on. I don't know if you can tell that on here, but oh, and you know what else is really nice, and I also really appreciate it. I am a paper girl at heart. I really am. I love journals. I love stationery. I love stickers. I love paper calendars. And one thing I really appreciate with this and with any calendar I buy is that the pages, the actual grids where you would write your activities and events or whatever, are matte. So you could write on this with pencil, which I often do in case I have to erase things, where the painting is like more of it's a more glossy. It's not high gloss for sure, but it's glossier. So isn't this stunning? So as I said, Ariane very generously and graciously not only sent me one of her calendars, but she sent me one to send to one of you. So if you would like to participate in this giveaway, all you need to do is comment down below. If you are a shawl knitter, let me know your favorite shawl pattern. I feel like that would be so much fun because I think I've recently mentioned that I love knitting shawls, but I don't wear a ton of my shawls. I have a couple shawls that I rotate through on a pretty regular basis, and I use them more as scarves, but I do really enjoy knitting shawls. So that's what you need to do if you would love to enter to win this extra calendar that she sent me. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up to anyone, like international here in the United States. I will deal with whatever I have to deal with as far as shipping. Now, if it comes on your end and you have to pay some sort of import tax or whatever those things are, I know that some countries have to do that, then that'll be on you. But do know that I will pay for the original shipping to get it out of the United States. If it is randomly chosen that somebody that lives internationally from where I live gets it. So anyway, thank you so much. And I will put all of her information down below. She has an Etsy shop. Oh, that was another thing I want to talk about. So if you purchase her calendar, you will get, so if you just go to her Etsy shop and purchase it on your own, you will get a free copy of Fox and Folk's Rowan lace wrap. You'll get a free copy of that pattern. I actually knitted that pattern. I test knitted that pattern. Let me see if I can find mine. Hold on 1 minute. I'll be back. Okay, I found it. This is it. I have it folded. I knit this in Quince & Co. yarn of some type, but I don't remember any of those details, and this was before I kept track. I test knitted this a while ago, and I remember I was working on this while we were vacationing in Acadia National Park, which is in Maine. But it's really beautiful. So this is the Rowan lace wrap, and if you purchase Ariane's calendar on her Etsy shop, you'll get a free copy of this pattern sent to you. And this is the Fox and Folk design that is featured in the calendar. Okay, I wanted to quickly talk about a couple other holiday-ish type of things. Now, let me tell you, I am a big lover of Thanksgiving. So here in America, our Thanksgiving is the fourth Thursday of every November. So this year it is I think it's the 27th this year. My house does not get decorated before we celebrate our Thanksgiving. I have such fond memories of Thanksgiving as a little girl at my grandparents' farm, and that was the holiday. So my mom is one of 5, and all of them but 2 moved away. So that was the holiday that everyone would come back. And so I would see my aunts and uncles and a couple of cousins. Anyway, so I'm prefacing this little Christmassy talk with that because you're not going to see my house decorated until after Thanksgiving. But I do start to get in a general holiday spirit in November because it's like the kickoff month for us here, I think, in America, as far as, well, for me personally. Like, I know that November it's my birthday month. It is Thanksgiving. It's when we have Thanksgiving here in the United States. And then I feel like Thanksgiving just kind of kicks off the holiday because then we have all of December, which is very Christmassy. And then, then we have New Year's. And so anyway, I start feeling the holiday spirit and I start thinking forward once November hits. So I want to show you a couple things because I don't know if you want to get a head start on a little Christmas ornament, I guess. These are super fast, but I want to show you because they're probably one of my most favorite ornaments. And I've made so many of them. This one is actually going to be shipped away to a friend and it is cute. It's just called, the pattern is called Christmas Ornament, and it is a free pattern by Red Heart Designs, and I will link it down below. The pattern calls for air and weight yarn, but I used DK. So what I did was I held double. That's all I did. I held all fingering weight double. So this is just 2 strands of natural colored, and then the glove part and the little crocheted chain that I did to hang it from, that is this off-white color held double with a fingering weight mini skein. And so I've made so many of these as gifts, gift tie-ons. I have multiple ones on my tree, and I've given them as to friends as well. So I wanted to show you that because it's so cute, and it's an easy, fun little make if you need it, like a little something to make your gift extra special. And then last year, if you watched my Vlogmas episodes, you will have seen that I made a garland, a Christmas garland. And it's sewn. It was a sewn garland. It's like a banner garland. And I have it all folded up. I just pulled it out of my Christmas decorations today. But it says Noel. Let me see if I can. And then it's got a blank banner on each end. Let me get it flipped right. So I hang this out in our dining room area above the buffet thing that we have out there. There you go. So what happened was, this was my December project last year, like non-knitting project. And I talked about this while I was filming Vlogmas, and I had really a lot of fun making this. But by the time I finished it, well, let me put it this way. I could have totally finished this, but I wanted to hang it and enjoy it. So what I did not finish was, so these are, I should tell you real quickly. I found this in a magazine, so I can't even give you a tutorial, like link a tutorial, but I basically just stitched 2 pieces of fabric together to make it like thicker. I didn't even use the interfacing because I feel like that probably would have made it a little bit nicer and a little bit stiffer, but it's like hanging on the wall and up against the wall, so it's no big deal. I ended up cutting the letters out in felt. What I did not finish that I wanted to and that I intended to do was doing a cross stitch, or a top stitch, sorry, not cross stitch, a top stitch all along each letter, because I think it just looks really flat with just these off-white letters. And I just adhered these with some spray, or was it spray glue adhesive, I think, like a fabric adhesive. But I'm going to do some sort of top stitch on this. I don't know if I'll just do a running stitch or if I'll do a blanket stitch along the edge. I haven't, because it's loose enough that I could do that. I haven't decided yet. I might just mess around on some scraps and see what I feel like doing. But I thought I should pull this out now while we're in November and work on this so that I can hang it. Like, I'll have it finished whenever it's time to hang in, we usually decorate the day after Thanksgiving. So that is my plan. And then the last Christmassy type of thing I wanted to talk about is Vlogmas. I don't even know how long I've been filming Vlogmas now, but has it been 5 years? I think it's maybe been 5 years. And it's something that I've typically enjoyed doing. And so I'm planning on doing it again this year. However, I have not decided yet how I will be formatting this because I'm currently learning how to use a new software to edit. And it's definitely more, in the long run, it's going to be quicker and it's going to produce a better end product. But right now it's tricky because I'm still learning it. So it takes me way longer to edit videos. I thought about just doing my Vlogmas recording on my phone or editing. I already record on my phone. I thought about recording on my phone and then just editing on my phone. But the reason I would get super frustrated in the past when I would do that is because my editing software on my phone, when I'm trying to splice together a lot of clips, which is what Vlogmas ends up being because I'm vlogging my day, the program is constantly freezing. And it works. It's a really great program. It's free. It has a lot of abilities as far as what it can do for a free program. But when I am doing a vlog that is a lot of short clips spliced together with music and all that over top of it, it just is such a frustrating situation. The program freezes. I have to shut it. It's glitchy the entire time. It's just, it just ends up making me a little grouchy. So I'm planning on editing on my laptop using the editing software I have on there that does not do that. It's just probably what's going to happen is by the end of December, I'm going to be a pro at editing on this DaVinci Resolve, which is what I'm currently using. I'm using the free version on my laptop, but it's going to maybe be a little rocky starting out. So I don't know if I'm going to post every day or maybe every few days or maybe once a week. And I don't even know what people are interested in anymore. Not that that fully matters, but I do like to produce content that you guys enjoy watching. So, but it also has to be enjoyable for me, especially since it's during a very busy time of year. And it's a time of year I want to be present in my real life. And I consider this, my podcast and my vlogging, to be part of my real life because it has become that. It's become like a part-time job to me now. So it's part of my real life. But I want to make sure that I am present and enjoying the month and not just lost and distracted by vlogging and editing. I'm sure that you understand what I'm trying to say. You guys are all, my viewers for the most part are extremely supportive. So I'm not worried about that. And I need to be able to do what's going to work for my family but it's also really important for me to provide content that's going to make you guys, I love being able to maybe bring a little bit of joy and light into the world through this platform. I feel that that's definitely a blessing from God to be able to do that. So I enjoy this. I consider it a privilege to be able to do this, but I'm just not sure how Vlogmas is going to look yet. I'm going to just kind of go into it, which is very unlike me. Usually I go into it with a plan, but I'm going to kind of go into it intending to vlog every day. But then if it doesn't work out, it's okay. It's all right. Okay, so I am going to go now. The sun is starting to come right in where I'm filming, and my daughter just got home, so I'm gonna go visit with her for a while, and I need to start making supper. So thank you guys for joining me on this vlog, and I hope that you found it inspiring and it brought some joy into your life, and I appreciate all of you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.